What's up, guys? Welcome to this video. In today's video, we will go over red flags and partnership with a client, what you need to be careful with, how to know it's a bad client, what are the signs that the client shows that you know this is not a good partnership for me. Because you really need to be careful with your clients, and you just don't want to keep a client on just because. Yeah, I hear a lot of people actually just talk about, I want to keep this client because he pays me good money. Of course, I understand that. If you're starting out and you don't have any money and you just like, what can you say, just trying to get started and you just want to get some results for the client and get some money in the bank account, I understand that. But please be careful with who you are using your time on, because there will be a difference and it really will show on how you how you're operating, how your mood is. It really plays a lot inside of your partnership with your clients. So please be careful, and you will notice that further down the line, who you want to work with, who you don't want to work with, what you can tolerate, what you don't want to tolerate, because you really want to set the tone, set the expectations when you're working with your clients, and you just don't want to, yeah, what can you say, feel like you just have to have the client just because they are giving you money, because that's not how it works. Because you want to be happy, you want the client to be happy. If the partnership doesn't work, then you need to go separate ways and you need to find some new clients. So let's touch on it. First of all, so you might have been wondering, when do you know that you have a bad client that only causes me a headache rather than being good in the partnership? From my experience, there's a few things that is in common for bad clients. But before we get into that, we need to address something. So expectations is key. So if you not have set the expectation when it comes to the partnership at the start of the partnership, then you're definitely missing out, and you will definitely have a lot of questions coming up from the client if you're not updating them and have set the expectation of what they can expect working with you. So let's say you started a partnership, you haven't set the expectations, and the client just thinks that this is just some magical thing. They can just press on a button and then they will flow in meetings in their calendar and they will close 10 clients the first month, which is definitely not the case when it comes to cold email. It probably can happen, but that's very rare, sorry, and it's not something that happens every day. So you need to set the expectations in terms of what they can expect working with you. What is the time frame? How is your work schedule looking in terms of when can they contact you? That's a really big one as well. So they don't can contact you 24/7 because you're not available 24/7. You need to have a personal life as well. Of course, if it is a big client and they, yeah, you will figure that out as well. But please just be careful with your time and set the expectation of when they can contact you. How much time can they expect for you to reply? Is it 2 hours? Is it 24 hours? Is it 8 hours? Whatever. When it's urgent, of course, they can do something else and all that stuff. You'll figure that out. But you just need to set the expectations both for your time, the goals that the client have, what are the time frame, how it's looking, what are the next month looking like in terms of work, when are you updating them, when are you having the weekly calls, the bi-weekly call is a month that you have an updated call. Do you send out looms every Friday and updating the client? Do you have a CRM that they can follow up with and follow on in terms of how many meetings you're generating? Do you have a Savior integration on a Google Calendar? Sorry, like Google Calendar, of course, but Google Sheets, where they can see how many meetings there have been booked and what are the metrics. How do can they see stats? Where can they see the stats if they can? So all this stuff you just need to put up on front on the onboarding call. Tell them what they can expect, because that makes a huge difference in terms of they not asking questions all the time, because then it was just annoy you, and the client don't feel like that they can trust you because they don't know what's going on, because they just send you money and you're just working from probably another place in the world, and they maybe 5 out of 10 have been burned by another agency that just took the money and worked for a month and then they just disappeared and left. I've heard that a lot with my clients, that they just paid them like 10K up front, and then the agency worked with them for like a month and a half, and then they just ghosted them completely. So they didn't get any results and they just lost their money. So that's why people are really careful. But that's also when it comes to who you are as a person. That's a completely another topic. But please set the expectations. When you've done that, then there is some metrics as well. that you can find out that the client is a red client, probably giving you some red flags. So let's go over that. I'll just move my head around here a bit, so sorry for that. But first of all, they don't trust the process. They don't listen to what you have to say, and they just don't trust what you're doing, and they think that they can do a better job themselves. So number two, they don't trust you, and they feel like they can do a better job themselves. I've experienced that before when one client just it was his workspace inside of Instantly that we're using for our sending tool, and he just changed up the campaign because he thought that what we were doing was not working, and he thought that he could like steer the wheel and just make things go around and just put in meetings. And I was like, okay, so you hired me to do this service, but you think you can do the service better yourself? Why did you hire me? And yeah, that was not just a really great partnership. We ended it and got separated because I don't want to work with that. If you want to change something and you're not, what can you say, happy with what I'm providing or what you guys are providing, then then say that, not just change something up because you feel like it. You need to ask for permission. That's why if I'm running a cold email campaign with a client, I just don't run the campaign without giving a yes or no from the client of what we're sending out. Because if I'm writing something that the the client don't resonate with and don't like the term that how we are saying it, then I need to know that, because otherwise I'll just piss them off and they don't will like that. So number three, they're late on payments and don't keep their part of the deal. And when you've seen that people are late on payments, they pay you a week after the payment should have been done. They ghost you for like a week or two, maybe a month. They don't respond. They are just like not very into the process, and I don't know what's going on with them, but it's a crazy red flag. And you just don't want to deal with that, because when you have set out a contract, they signed a contract that they're paying every month on the second, on the first, on the third, whatever you agreed to, then they just need to do that, because this is not just something that you can just not pay. If you're having like a system fee or anything like that going out every month and you're starting out, that's a huge amount of money that you probably don't have in the agency. So being late on payments all the time will ruin the process of you buying new leads, probably buying new email accounts for them if they need that, providing a better service. So when the payments are on time, then you can get a much better process down. You can make sure that they have everything they need to run their campaigns and you are giving the best possible service. Where if they aren't doing that, then you need to probably cut them off as well. So let's go to step four. They change the campaigns without asking you first and have bad communication. I already touched on this in terms of changing campaigns without asking you first, and bad communication is just not working at all. You don't want to do that. You have set the expectations when they can expect you to answer. They still call you every hour asking questions that is not relevant to anything, and they just want to chit chat all the time, ask questions. It's of course okay to ask questions, please do, but when it's just too much and when it's not inside of the expectations that you have split with them, then it's just not okay, because you are not, let's say you're starting out, you have a guarantee, you only work on performance, and the client is texting you 24/7, calling you at 9 o'clock on a Saturday, and it's just annoying and just want to keep asking stuff, and they don't trust it. And why don't we have results? Why this? Why that? All the time, then there is definitely something wrong. And it's either because you haven't set the expectations, or it's just because the client is just, yeah, a headache. So yeah, please be aware of that as well. And number five, they don't respond to you and ghost you for a month, and they complain about results. So I've experienced this before, that the client just ghosted me for a month, came back, didn't answer again for like a week and a half, and then in the middle of the month he was just, yeah, we need to get three clients closed after this month is ending. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I send out my how I do things is I send out an update every Friday to my clients on how it's going with the campaigns. I still keep sending that. I didn't close off the, what can you say, the email accounts and the campaigns. But I, of course, when he didn't answer me after 2 weeks, I just stopped the campaign, so we wasn't running anything. We're having a hard time actually getting him meetings, which is the case sometimes, not always working from the start. But then when he came back just after saying we need to close 2 or 3 clients after, like, we had 2 weeks to do that. We didn't have a lead flow. We didn't have campaigns running, so we needed to do completely new campaigns. And yeah, it just didn't work out a lot. It was not very good. Communication was extremely bad. And please tell me when you're on vacation or something like that. I don't respond for 2 weeks. Let me know that. You want to let your clients know that if you're going on a vacation as well and you're not replying as you used to or normally do, please let them know that. So you don't just go on vacation, don't answer for 2 weeks, came back, and they're thinking what is going on. So be straight up with the communication. Tell everything about what you're doing, how you do it, all that stuff. Yeah. And if they're complaining, get rid of them. It's not worth it. All these signs just not worth it when it comes to having clients. It's just more of a headache. You're probably spending more time on this client than a good client that don't ask questions. So please be aware of that, that you could use this time getting more clients, running new campaigns, or delivering better service for the clients that are happy and not asking questions. Not saying that it's bad to ask questions, but you get the point. The topics that I touched on here. So number 6, they complain too much. Not about the results, but just about everything. They just complain. They don't give you credit for what you're doing. They're late on everything. They blame everything on you and not on themselves. So they don't look inward. They only look on you and what you're offering. And sometimes when it comes to delivering results, it could also be the client not having nailed down their offer and what they're offering to the prospects. When they don't have that, then it's harder to sell. And imagine selling paid ads to e-commerce. Everyone is doing that. So you cannot just, we are different than every other agency, because every other agency is also saying that they're different, and they're probably giving them the right arm to get a meeting with an e-commerce client because everyone wants e-commerce clients. So when you haven't nailed down your offer and it's not something special, and it's in a market where a lot of different people are offering the same service, then you need to stand out and be a bit different. And then, as I said, that then it's not your fault if you're running lead gen, that the client haven't nailed down the offer. We of course also help with offer creation and all that stuff. But when they haven't nailed it down and know that they're just specific in one service, if you're running as a agency and you're doing growth marketing and you're offering Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, all that stuff, then please just do one service and then upsell them on the other services when you get them as a client. Don't try to sell them 6 different things in one pitch, because that will definitely not work when it comes to cold email. So yeah, guys, I hope you got something out of this video. It's a bit different than the other videos that I've been doing, but it's just a lot of different red flags that there is in a partnership with the client. Please don't waste your time on bad clients. It's just a waste of time, a waste of brain capacity. And if you're a guy or girl that worries a lot, then having late payments, bad communication, always complaining about the results and you and whatever, it's just not worth it. You will find that out with experience when you've been in the online space and having your own agency for a lot of time. Then you will eventually find out all of these things. So as always, I hope you found this video valuable. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, please give me a dislike as well. I appreciate both. Let me know in the comments if you have any experience with bad clients. I will love to know about them and hear. I've heard some crazy stories, so we be good to listen to something else. But yeah, other than that, I'll definitely see you in the next one. Bye.